English Listening Test. Part 4. Designed for C1 learners. This test consists of 20 questions which are divided into 4 parts. I will give you a short instruction at the beginning of each part. Before we get started, take a pen and paper so you can take notes while listening. Are you ready? Let's get started. Part 1. Listen to Michael suggesting some 10-minute activities to try and be ready to answer the true or false questions.
Mr. Henry's talk on tiny pleasures was really inspiring to me, and it inspired me to come up with some simple 10-minute exercises that you might all attempt. These are only a handful of them. Let's start with outside activities since summer is quickly approaching. Start by engaging in a strenuous activity you enjoy, such as riding a bike, jumping rope, or running. It just takes 2 10-minute sessions daily, one in the morning and one in the evening, to reduce anxiety and increase happiness. So, take advantage of those longer days and go exploring. If you're not into strenuous exercise, consider walking to work for a month. If that's not feasible, you could take a 10-minute stroll around the block every day or walk to public transportation. You'll quickly find that fresh air is your buddy when you go for a walk in the morning. In addition to physical exercise, the summer is a perfect time to examine your diet. How about creating a fresh salad each day? At least 30 different salads may be prepared fast, and there are some amazing recipes available. Plus, it's a health boost when taking on this challenge. That's all very well during the summer, but what about when the weather turns chilly and you have to stay indoors? One thing you could do is doodle. Draw pictures or designs on paper. You only need a pencil or pen and some paper. Begin by sketching simple lines and shapes. Your doodle will become a clear picture as you glide your pen or pencil across the paper. It only takes 10 minutes or less to complete the creative, easy, and entertaining task of doodling. You could create your own blog if you're more of a writer than an illustrator. Choose an area of great interest for you and dedicate 10 minutes each day to blogging about it. It's considerably more enjoyable, cost-free, and fulfilling than going through Instagram or Twitter feeds. Taking a 10-minute language class is another wintertime hobby. Another software offers a free, entertaining, game-like method of learning languages like Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Turkish, French, German, Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese. These are just a few suggestions for you to consider. The options are virtually limitless. All you have to do is choose a task, block out 10 minutes each day, and begin. I'm confident you won't regret it.
True or false? Part 2. Listen to 7 people talking about obsessions or what they are addicted to. Match the speakers with what they say. Use each speaker only once. There are 2 extra speakers that you don't need to use.
What's the question? Do I have any recurring themes? Though I don't think of them as obsessions, I do have a tendency to arrange my belongings in ways that other people could find obsessive. When I moved into a friend's apartment for a week or two, I quickly alphabetized their roughly 100 CDs or DVDs, because if I was going to be there, and I needed to find a piece of music, it was just easier to find when it was alphabetized.
Well, yeah, this began at some point last year. I came to this fantastic parenting website when searching the internet for information regarding my youngest child's skin issue. I quickly discovered that I couldn't miss a day of being online. I stopped spending time with my husband and kids and instead began chatting with my newfound internet friends throughout the entire evening. I never considered the possibility that it could become addictive, but now when I can't get on my computer, I get nervous and uncomfortable.
Well, I often find myself immersed in the world of cinema, seeking solace in captivating narratives and visual escapism. My friends usually call me a dedicated movie buff. My addiction began as a way to cope with the overwhelming demands of my high-stress job and the pressures of modern life. As time went on, my addiction became ingrained, providing a reliable source of comfort and distraction. The emotional depth and relatable characters in films became a refuge, offering a sense of connection and understanding that was lacking in my daily life.
Well, I do. I have a complete obsession with cleaning, and it's awful. It's the bane of my life. It's absolutely terrible. I cannot relax until everything is absolutely, clean and neat. I've had to let it go a little because my wife's very laid back, and I just haven't been allowed to be as obsessed as I have been in the past. And of course, having children stops this obsession a little bit, because there are toys and stuff everywhere.
My addiction has gotten me into a lot of trouble, actually. I've always loved spending money, and I guess I never realized that it could get out of hand. Coming home with armfuls of clothes gave me an enormous high, and I needed to keep on buying more clothes, shoes, and accessories to keep getting it. I would go during my lunch hour, after work, and on weekends. But I couldn't see that I had a problem until my boyfriend George split up with me. On top of that, I'm about $20,000 in debt now.
My addiction to playing video games began in my early teens, as a refuge from the pressure of school and family expectations. As an introverted kid, gaming provided a sense of control and accomplishment that was lacking in my real-life interactions. The virtual worlds offered an escape from my insecurities and social anxieties, allowing me to be someone else, someone powerful and respected. Over time, the thrill of competition and the sense of achievement became addictive, filling a void in my life. The more I played, the more I craved that feeling of success and validation, leading to an all-consuming obsession that dominated my every waking moment.
There's a name for this condition, but I can't remember what it is, and I'm not sure what it's called, but I count things. If I come into a room, I'll count the number of lights on the ceiling. The only thing is I don't know how many there really are, because I count things so that they turn out to be in multiples of 3s or 9s, and I also count panes in windows. I will count panels in doors. But I like them always to get up to a 3 or a 30 or a 90, so it's a pretty useless thing, but it's just something I just do.
Choose the correct option. Part 3. Listen to 5 people talking about the history and the people they admire and be ready to answer the true or false questions.
Is there a period of history that you would like to go back to, Evelyn?
I think I'd go back to the Renaissance. There were so many incredible advancements in art and science. The Renaissance was such an exciting time, with all the discoveries and creativity.
Is there a person from history that you admire or find especially fascinating?
I've always admired Leonardo da Vinci. His work was so ahead of its time, especially the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper. His ability to blend art, science, and engineering is something we still marvel at today. He didn't limit himself to one field, but explored everything from anatomy to flying machines. It's fascinating how he used his understanding of human anatomy and psychology in his art. He observed real human expressions and emotions, which is why his work feels so authentic and powerful. He was constantly learning and experimenting, which is why his work remains so influential.
Is there a period of history that you would like to go back to, James?
I think I would have loved to be around in California in the 60s. I think it sounds like it was a really exciting time. I think there were a lot of frightening things happening in Vietnam, but people were excited and excited about the potential, I think, of something new and really exploring their freedom, I guess.
Is there a person from history that you admire or find especially fascinating?
I think I most admire Nelson Mandela. I'm South African, so he's the first person that comes to mind. I think he was an incredible person and an amazing leader. So, yeah, I would have loved to have met him.
Is there a period of history that you'd like to go back to, Olivia?
That's a weird one. I don't know. History was pretty brutal. Life was really quite hard. There are some aspects of it that I'd like where time was slower, life was defined by the seasons and daylight, and you didn't have the same sort of pressures as you do now. So I'd like aspects of it, but I'm not sure I'd really like to go back to the actual way of life.
Is there a person from history that you admire or find especially fascinating?
Probably Queen Elizabeth I, because she managed to be the queen in a society where women weren't expected to have or hold or command any power and respect, and that they were meant to do the bidding of men and their families, and she actually stood up and was a person to be counted.
Is there a period of history that you would like to go back to, Martin?
Yes, there's a period I'd like to go back to, absolutely. I love ancient Greece. I love ancient Athens. I think it would be so amazing to spend time there and see what it was like being in the Agora with, Plato and Aristotle and talking. And that entire world would be very, very interesting to me.
Is there a person from history that you admire or find especially fascinating?
A person from history that I find, that I admire. There are a lot of people. I study a lot of ancient history, so I would love to meet Julius Caesar or someone like that who really transformed the entire world with his actions. And he has a very unique personality. He was a very cocky person, and it'd be fun to just see what he was like in person and see how he was able to kind of take over the entire Roman Empire by himself.
Is there a period of history that you would like to go back to, Luna?
I think I'd like to go back to, the Renaissance, like the 14th and 15th century. Maybe in Italy.
Is there a person from history that you admire or find especially fascinating?
I've read a lot about, Filippo Brunelleschi, who was in Florence, in Italy, during the Renaissance and helped build the Duomo, the dome in Italy.
True or false? Part 4. Listen to Jessica talking about the importance of sleep for health and be ready to complete the sentences.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to talk about something that every one of us does, but many of us don't fully understand or appreciate: sleep. Sleep is often seen as a luxury or an afterthought, but it is actually a fundamental pillar of our health and well-being. Let's dive into why sleep is so important, the consequences of not getting enough, and some tips for improving sleep quality. To start, let's consider what happens when we sleep. Sleep is not just a time when our bodies and minds shut down. Instead, it's a highly active state that is crucial for various physiological processes. During sleep, our bodies repair tissues, synthesize hormones, and strengthen our immune systems. Meanwhile, our brains are busy consolidating memories, processing information, and clearing out toxins. There are several stages of sleep, including light sleep, deep sleep, and REM, rapid eye movement sleep. Each stage serves a different purpose. For example, deep sleep is essential for physical restoration and growth, while REM sleep is crucial for cognitive functions like memory and learning. An ideal sleep cycle will include all these stages, allowing us to wake up feeling refreshed and alert. Unfortunately, many of us are not getting the quality or quantity of sleep we need. The recommended amount of sleep for adults is 7 to 9 hours per night, but surveys indicate that a significant portion of the population falls short of this. Chronic sleep deprivation can have serious consequences for our health. It's linked to a higher risk of numerous conditions, including obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and even certain cancers. Additionally, lack of sleep impairs cognitive functions like attention, decision-making, and reaction time. This is why driving while sleep-deprived can be as dangerous as driving under the influence of alcohol. Beyond physical and cognitive health, sleep also plays a vital role in our emotional well-being. Have you ever noticed that everything seems more overwhelming when you're tired? That's because sleep and mood are closely connected. Inadequate sleep can lead to irritability, mood swings, and even symptoms of depression and anxiety. Conversely, getting enough restful sleep can help stabilize our emotions and improve our overall outlook on life. Given how crucial sleep is, it's important to cultivate good sleep hygiene. This means adopting habits that promote consistent, quality sleep. One key tip is to maintain a regular sleep schedule, going to bed and waking up at the same times every day, even on weekends. This helps regulate your body's internal clock, making it easier to fall asleep and wake up naturally. Creating a sleep-friendly environment is also important. Make your bedroom a sanctuary for sleep by keeping it cool, dark, and quiet. Investing in a comfortable mattress and pillows can make a big difference as well. Additionally, try to limit exposure to screens before bed, as the blue light emitted by phones, tablets, and computers can interfere with your body's production of melatonin, a hormone that regulates sleep. Another helpful practice is to establish a calming pre-sleep routine. This could include activities like reading a book, taking a warm bath, or practicing relaxation techniques such as deep breathing or meditation. Avoiding caffeine and heavy meals in the hours leading up to bedtime can also help you wind down more effectively. In conclusion, sleep is a vital component of our health and well-being, affecting everything from our physical health to our cognitive functions and emotional balance. By prioritizing sleep and adopting healthy sleep habits, we can improve our overall quality of life. Thank you for your attention, and I hope you all take away some useful tips for getting a better night's sleep.
Choose the correct option. Don't forget to share your score in the comments section. If you haven't taken our previous listening tests, the playlist link is in the description below. For more valuable content, subscribe to our channel and turn on the notifications. See you in our upcoming videos.